So this is my reading for the week ahead. Really trying to connect to the collective energies and try and find some guidance for each of us to make the very best out of this week. And today I'm reading with my Rider-Waite deck. And the first card is Temperance, and Temperance is about balance. It's about balancing your spirit, which is represented by the fire in the wings, by the fire glyph there, the triangle, the sun rising or setting here, all that expansion, all that spirit, that energy, with your emotions, the water, what you feel is right. Two very different energies, what you desire and what you feel, and it's about blending the two. It's also about blending your inner journey, the foot in the water, and your outer physical journey, the foot on the earth, very similar to Star in that way. I've been trying to listen to audiobooks on my phone recently, uplifting, inspirational audiobooks whilst going for a walk, and actually it's had a really positive effect. Just listening to that voice saying positive, hopeful, inspiring things whilst moving and being out in nature, it's really helped. It's something you know, find your own way of doing it, but look at your life. Are you nurturing your inner self and your outer self? And I always think with Temperance we've got that magic, because really what would happen is this water would fall onto his feet, so the magic. And then the word temperance, okay, so in some ways it's watering down wine, to temper the wine, but I always think about tempering steel, and that to temper steel you heat it, you bash it, and then you thrust it into icy water, and then you repeat the process. And that's how you would temper the metal to make a sword. And in the Rider-Waite deck, the swords represent our mind. So do you know what, if things have been tough recently for you, just relax this week, try and get the balance right, try and have a little bit of time for yourself, try and be spontaneous. I often think this cup here, this magicalness, is about being spontaneous, because maybe you've just been through those difficulties to strengthen your mind. And our mind is such a beautiful gift, but in so many people I read for, it's their own mind that is self-sabotaging and holding them back. So maybe that period of difficulty was there to strengthen your mind so that you can see through the problems, very much like the Ace of Swords, to better move forward. So the advice today, or for this week, is the Page of Wands, one of my favourite cards. The Page of Wands is youthfulness. It's feeling excited at simple things. And one of the key skills of tarot reading is to find the message between the cards. So I've already said that this image here of the magical pouring of the cups makes me think of spontaneity. Makes me think of, you know, those magical days when you look back on them and they were absolutely perfect. I bet most of them were spontaneous. I bet most of them were, you know, the weekend away that you just said, let's go for it, and then it was amazing. You can't plan for those magical days. So this week, just listen. Listen to your spirit, listen to your emotions. Is there something you really want to do? This is going to be so different for all of us. Maybe it is planning a weekend away in the summer. Maybe it's just getting up and going out for a picnic one evening. Be adventurous, be bold, be inspirational, and celebrate. I often think the Four of Wands is about celebration. There we have the little bridge in the corner, which those of you that know your Rider-Waite deck well will know is the Five of Cups, heartbreak and loss. There is heartbreak and loss in life, we can't avoid it. So do you know what, the best advice I have is that when life is good, celebrate it. Even if it's just the sound of the birds singing, or seeing a friend smile as you walk into a coffee shop, each and every good emotion that you have this week, just hold it, breathe into it, and let that emotion fill you, because it's very, very easy to let our mind overtake, and our mind does tend to stress and chatter. So there's a real balance this week of getting the heart and the mind to work together. Card on the bottom of the pack, Two of Pentacles, balance, flow. I really, having just said to you, and I hadn't looked, I'm doing this blind as it were, reading the cards for me as much as for you. But there we have the balance of the heart and the mind, the fire and the water. Because yes, do you know what? Life's tough right now for a lot of people. And if I'm honest, I think it's going to get a lot tougher before it gets better. So stay centered and balance your inner and your outer journey, your heart and your soul. And I think that's the best way that we can all deal with these interesting times that we live in.